people are going to get mad at this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's women. Being able to cultivate optionality with women is a very useful resource, because one of the biggest problems that guys have today when it comes to chicks is they get laden down by crappy women, because it's the first girl that touches his pee-pee. It's the girl with daddy issues, the girl with a colossal past of bad mistakes and silly decisions and choices and stuff like that. And, Moff and I talked about this when we did the closing of the first round of Ladies Night podcast. And it's like somewhere between 5 to 10%, maybe less, of women that we've had on the show are even worth dating, let alone getting into a long-term relationship. Probably less than 5% of the gals that we've had on the show in the prior series, like the entire year that we ran it for, and we had anywhere from 3 to 5, 6 girls on per show. The vast majority of them aren't worth your time, but it's the guys that have cultivated women as a resource, cultivating the optionality when it comes to women, that get all the good women. One of the complaints guys go is, where do I find, like a good woman? It's like, you got to be a good man if you want good women. They're out there. There's not a lot of them out there. The vast majority of them aren't that good, or they've gone through life and made some bad choices, and guys are settling for leftovers, essentially, like not ideal type of situations. And if you can cultivate optionality by developing all these other skills that I've talked about, again, the ways that you develop them are in detail explained in the School of Unplugging, then you have a far better experience. A lot of guys will try to zip over to Asia or Colombia or some other parts of the world, and that might temporarily increase your perceived sexual marketplace value. That might temporarily give you more feminine, slightly more agreeable women, but they all run off the same software. They all do. They're all hypergamous. They're all solipsistic. There's really not a lot of accountability. They all work off the exact same software program. It's just slightly different versions of it. Is it update 2.1 or update 1.3? You guys know what I'm talking about, the techie nerdy guys out there. But cultivating optionality as a resource with women is really, really important, because you don't settle for crap if you got options, if you got better options, and you don't give up options if you have options. You see what I'm saying? Next one I jotted down here is becoming visibly competent with social media, displayed on social media. A successful guy with resources and assets, a competency, skills, any one of these items can broadcast that, a few hundred years, not even a few hundred years ago. I mean, like even prior to the advent of the internet and screens and social media apps, even prior to 2000, you couldn't do that on a vast scale. Today, you get guys like Andrew Tate, for example. I don't know how many followers he's got on all of his social media platforms. It's in the tens of millions now, obviously. But he can display competency skills across the world very, very easily. Prior to the 2000s, your social network, people you work with, the church that you might attend, the areas you might frequent, the family events that you might like, that was the extent of your reach. Today, you can visibly display competence very easily on social media. You can show people that you know how to acquire food, show them that you know how to hunt. You post a picture of your hunt. You can show people that you have a nice house, take pictures of the house, your pool, the backyard, all this sort of stuff. You can show people that you have assets, you have your cars or your watches or whatever, if that's your thing, right? Displayed via social media. So visible competence is something that you can spread. Like, your optionality increases dramatically around the world when you do that. I'm not that big of a deal, but I mean, I've had people from all corners of the world. The only continent I have not heard from yet is Antarctica. But from every other continent and just about every culture and, ethnic group within those continents, I've heard from Australia, Africa, New Zealand, South America, Central America, all throughout Europe, Russia, Asia, probably not North Korea because they have a full block over there. But you get the idea, right? Like, you can display visible competence around the world and people will reach out to you, right? I've given people the rights to translate my content in different parts of the world because they've reached out to me, right? So, like, you get the idea, right? which also kind of develops renown for yourself. Building out your sexual opportunities, your optionality with women, of course. What else do I got out here in the list? That's pretty much the crux of it. Yeah, I don't need to go down much more. There's more that I can spend time on. Where we're at, we're about 45 minutes in. Here, this is what I'll do. Let me grab the invite link again. I'll drop it in all chat. I'm going to run the ad reel so you can call in. There's already people waiting to ask a question. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.